Yo, what is up, man? What is going on? Welcome into the program on this beautiful Easter Sunday evening. I am back with a brand new episode of Sentell. I felt like I need to be here because, like I said, it's a big day in sports. NBA season just concluded today, and that's what we're gonna mainly dive into the NBA playoffs in just a few minutes as we go along. But first, let me congratulate. Some congratulations are in order for John Rum, who just won the Masters today. He finished with a score of 12 under. Going into the day, Brooks Koepka had the lead. He had a 2-shot lead, but he played really bad today. 3 over 75 in the final round. Rum shot 3 under 69 to win at a score of -12. You had Phil Mickelson, Patrick Reed, Jordan Spieth was in the mix for a little bit, but it was a mainly John Rum day. He kind of controlled the golf tournament on Sunday. Kind of led midway through the first 9 holes, and then kind of just cruised on the back 9 to get a win. His second major in his career, also won in the 2021 U.S. Open. So congratulations to the Spaniard, John Rum. Congratulations on your Masters win. Green jacket is in order. But like I said, we're going to talk mainly about the NBA because, as you can see, the season has ended. It is playoff time in the NBA. But first, before we do that, let's talk about had a fire in the day in the NBA. Had a fire in the day. First of probably a couple that you'll get during this time. This is that time of year where you have coaches getting fired. That's just the way it goes. So let's talk about that a little bit. Stephen Silas, man, for the Houston Rockets, didn't get his 4th-year option picked up. So after 3 seasons, he's out of there. Really didn't get a fair shake in my eyes. I mean, it's kind of tough. I mean, the record was what the record was. I mean, he was bad. 59 and 177. I mean, that's a 25% winning percentage. At the 3rd worst record in the league this year. But he was kind of dealt a bad hand. You look at the first season. James Harden asked out his first season, so you built the team around James Harden. He's no longer there. Then you got some young guys, Kevin Porter Jr. Then you get Jalen Green in 21. Also the Sagan center, young guys. So you just got a bunch of young guys. Kenyon Martin Jr. So just a really young team, man. So the expectations for Stephen Silas, I mean, what did they expect out of him? I mean, what did the ownership expect with a roster this bad? You don't see rosters put together with this kind of youth that's going to succeed. Most teams have some kind of veteran who can still play, some kind of older leaders on the team. But this team is built up of mainly number of young players. You got a first-time head coach with a lot of young players. I mean, so what did you expect? What was the expectation for Houston? So now you got the 3rd worst record in the league. So you got a chance to get the kid out of France in the upcoming NBA draft, but you're still gonna be young again. So what direction do you think? What direction should they go in? I really don't know, but the usual candidates for the new coach gonna be. You got Ime Udoka, Kenny Atkinson, Nick Nurse could become available. We always talk about Mark Jackson at this time, although I don't think Mark Jackson's going to get a job at this time. So, but I just feel like what Stephen Silas, I mean, who coaching this team? Who's going to win with this team? Who's going to win with a team? Your best player is probably 20 years old in Jalen Green. So, yeah, I mean, the deck was stacked against them from the beginning. Like I said, James Harden takes off first season, and then you got these young guys after that. So you really have no older guys on the team. You look at that team is full of young players. I mean, just full of young players. So that's all you really have when you look at that. So I don't know what Ime Udoka could do, Kenny Atkins can do. Is the ownership committed to winning? Are they committed to winning? Do we know if Houston ownership committed to winning? You know, Daryl Moore is now in Philadelphia, the old GM that kind of built that team when James Harden was going through that kind of, I don't want to call it heyday. They didn't win any championships and anything like that. So let's not get carried away. But the team was a lot more competitive when Daryl Moore was in charge during those times, D'Antoni and the Harden era. So where do they go from here? Like I say, Ime Udoka probably going to be the hot name. But I'm sure he's going to want some assurances that they're going to try to at least compete, compete, try to win, do anything to push this organization forward. So let's move on to the NBA playoffs, man. Hey, I love it, man. I love it. I told the world, don't cry for me, Argentina. When we got rid of those cancers, on our team, I told you don't cry for me, Argentina. We're going to be all right because that's what Brooklyn grit is, baby. But let's get into these playoffs, man. We got the scene now. We know who all the matchups are, including the play-in. So let's talk about it. Got Denver in the West. We're going to start with the West. Denver's the number 1 seed. Nikola Jokic. Nothing more to be said about him. 2 seed is the Memphis Grizzlies. 3 seed is Sacramento after a long hiatus. Let's give it up to Mike Brown, Coach of the Year. I don't even think they should even vote for this. They shouldn't even vote for this. Kings haven't been in the playoffs in like 16 years. And Mike Brown came in and did a tremendous job. That team was high as a 2 seed at one time. They're a 3 seed. They're gonna take they're the 3 seed. Suns are the 4 seeds. Clips are the 5 seed. 6 seeds are the Golden State Warriors, defending reigning champions. The 7 seed is the Lakers. 8 seed is the Minnesota Timberwolves. Number 9 seed is New Orleans, and the 10 seed is OKC. So let's get these matchups. We don't know what 1 and 2. We don't know who Denver and Memphis are gonna play yet. But the first round matchup, we got the Suns and the Clippers. That should be a fantastic series. A lot of star power in that. The biggest thing, obviously, for the Clippers is the health of Paul George. We don't know. I mean, he's been hurt with a sprained knee. He's out. So it's going to be Russell and up to Kawhi Leonard to kind of hold it down. We don't know when Paul George is coming back. The Suns are rolling right now. KD's starting to get his footing on him. Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton. They stacked over there. So if Paul George doesn't come back, it'd be hard for me to see any way the Clips can beat the Suns in the series. But it should be a really good series. We was this close. We were this close to having Phoenix and Golden State. And that would have been so good, right? You'd have had this theater, this drama, this story would have been so great. KD versus the Warriors, but we have to wait. Sacramento and Golden State should be a fabulous series. De'Aaron Fox and Devontae Sabonis have been tremendous this year. The Kings have been really good. The Warriors have been great at home, but not so much on the road. They have one of the worst records in the league on the road. So can they get? They are the lower seed, so they're gonna have to win a road game in order to win the series. So, can they win a game or 2 on the road to win the series? I don't know. I lean more towards Sacramento. They're really good at home. They're really solid on the road, but you can't underestimate the champs. Andrew Wiggins may be back. I don't know. He didn't play the last couple of games, but he is back with the team. We shall see how that looks. I would lean more towards Sacramento when it comes to that. The play-in series, LA and Minnesota. Minnesota beat LA twice this season, but LA is starting to find themselves. LeBron is back. AD hasn't got hurt yet. So I think they'll be fine. I like Austin Reeves has come along really, really nicely. D'Angelo Russell's a solid point guard. The roster looks really, really good. Minnesota, man, they dangerous. They are very, very dangerous. And obviously, in the 7-8 matchups that they play, and let me see how to tell you how this works. They only have to win one game. This game here, the winner who wins this game automatically is the 7th seed. So they get in the playoff, they would be your 7th seed. The 9-10 team, that's a little different. So the 9-10 winner will have to win twice. You have to win the 9-10 game, and then you have to beat the loser of the 7-8 game to get into the playoffs. But the 7 and 8 teams only have to win one game, whether it's that first game or the second game, and they are in the playoffs. But whoever wins the first game is going to be the 7th seed. And everybody follow along with that. Everybody got that. 7-8 matchup. Team that wins the game is the 7th seed. Everybody got that. 9-10 matchup. The loser goes, he's out. Loser leaves town. Automatically, he's out of there. Get out. Okay, let's go to the Eastern Conference side. Milwaukee was tremendous. 58-win team. Had the most wins in the league. They're number 1 seed. 2 is the Boston Celtics. 3 is the 76ers. 4 is the Cavs. 5 is the New York Knickerbockers. 6 is my Brooklyn Nets. 7 is the Miami Heat. 8 is the Atlanta Hawks. And number 9 is the Raptors. Bulls at 10. So those you're playing Miami and Atlanta. 9 Raptors versus 10 Bulls. Do I need to go over the play-in rules again with you? Do I need to go over the play-in rules again with you? Just for clarification, do I need to go over those again with you? Looking forward to that Cavs-Knicks matchup. Favor the Knicks a little bit. I mean the Cavs, I'm sorry. They're really good defensively. They're one of 2 teams, I think one of a few teams in the league that are top 5 in offensive and defensive efficiency. I want to say, I could be wrong with the offense side. I know they're really good defensively. Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, Evan Mobley has started to come into his own. You still got Garland there. So Knicks, Jalen Brunson has been absolutely tremendous for them. The Grimes kid has come a long way. RJ Barrett, obviously Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson at center. You got Thibodeau as the coach. So this is gonna be you want an old school type field series. This is the one, right? It's just the Knicks and Cavs. You got 2 defensive team. Well, Cavs are a defensive team, but you know Thibodeau wants to be a defensive team. Wants to be a defensive team with the Knicks. They don't have those kind of defenders, but this will be a gritty, tough series. I can see it going 7 games. I like the Cavs. 3-6. Look, the Nets are gonna give the 76ers all they can handle, but we have a huge issue when it comes to Joel Embiid. We don't have anything. Forget us answer. We don't have a solution. We don't have an equation. We don't have a formula. We have nothing that can slow down Joel Embiid at all. We have nothing in the middle that can slow this guy down. So that's going to be a huge problem. But we do have enough shooting and scoring and enough perimeter defense to kind of contain what they do on the perimeter side of the offensive side of the ball. So I do see the series going to be a 6-game series, but I will pick the Sixers. They are playing at an extremely high level. Joel Embiid should be the MVP, would get my vote. We talked about this a little bit last week, but he's been outstanding, just sensational, if I could use the pun, to describe his work. Let's see. We got playing Miami, Atlanta, and the Raps at Bulls. Yeah, we'll kind of leave those alone. Not too much to touch bases with when it comes to that right there. I don't see any of those teams getting in the playoffs. Already, we talking about the West play-in, because I do think if the Lakers get in the playoffs, that'll be a dangerous matchup for Memphis. That'll be a tough matchup for anybody. And anytime you got LeBron and AD on the court at the same time, that is a potential for a problem. Memphis doesn't have Steven Adams. Brandon Clark is out, so they're kind of small in the front court. So AD should be able to eat if they were to somehow get past Minnesota. Like I said, that would not be an easy game. Minnesota, Anthony Edwards is a dog. Karl Anthony Towns can play. Now they had a little situation today with Rudy Gobert and Carl. What's his name? Kyle Anderson. I'm sorry. They got into a little fisticuff earlier today. So maybe they have a little issue when it comes to that. But yeah, we should see, man. Playoffs, man. I cannot wait. They're here. Oh, before we get out the playoffs, man, let's talk about teams that are not in the playoffs. Specifically one team that's not in the playoffs that we need to talk about, that we need to focus on, that we need to talk about. The Dallas Mavericks. That's right. You know the Dallas. You remember them, right? That's the team that went all the way to the NBA Western Conference Finals last year. They didn't make the playoffs this year. They made a trade. They lost Jalen Brunson in the offseason. And then during the middle of the season, they were the 4th seed. They made a trade for one Kyrie Irving. And it has been the Titanic ever since. They didn't make the playoffs. Luka talking about how he's not happy playing basketball anymore. Kyrie Irving ruining the franchise every step of the way. It's become a tradition in his household. But, I don't know what to say for Dallas. What they're going to do in the offseason, or they bring Kyrie back, that seemed like it did not work. So we don't know how that's going to be. Luka didn't look happy anymore. I mean, that's what Kyrie does, man. After living through it for 3.5, 4 years, this is what he does. I mean, everybody have all these nice things to say about him, but the results and what subsequent actions tell you differently. You can say what you want. You can tell me a lot of stuff, but I can see better than I hear. I know that team was a 4th seed when they got you. They were a 4th seed when they got you. They missed the damn playoffs with you. They was the 4th seed without you and missed the damn playoffs without you. So I know. You can tell me whatever you want about that guy, but I know what's happening. I know what's happening. So that team didn't make the playoffs. So that's your NBA playoffs. We'll get more in depth with it as each game goes on, day by day. The play-in starts Tuesday night and Wednesday, so look forward to those games. Again, hey, thank you for tuning in to Sentell, baby. You know what it is, the best damn sports podcast, period. The undisputed champion of sports podcasts. I'm your host, the sensational Sentell Wyman, a.k.a. Mr. Noise Off, a.k.a. the one-man dynasty. Just talked about the NBA playoffs. Had another some newsworthy action happen today. Odell Beckham Jr. has a home after missing the entire 2022 season after winning the Super Bowl with the Los Angeles Rams and then subsequently tying his knee up in the Super Bowl. He has signed with the Baltimore Ravens. Now, he was looking for 1 year, big time guaranteed money. Looked like he was looking for about 20 million, got 15, 18 overall. So there's probably some incentives in there. And my response to OBJ going to the Baltimore Ravens is, so what? I mean, what does that mean? If you don't have Lamar Jackson, what does it mean? See, to me, OBJ got the best deal for him. I don't even think he even cares if Lamar Jackson shows up or not. He wanted to get a nice deal after missing a whole year of football. He got $15 million guaranteed. So he is happy. So he is in paradise because he basically got almost what he wanted. But if it doesn't matter, if Lamar Jackson is not there, it does not matter who they sign on Baltimore. The only thing that matters if you sign number 8. And if you don't get that guy signed, all of this is null and void. It does not matter about Rashad Bateman. It doesn't matter about Nate Andrews. It doesn't matter about any of those guys if you don't have Lamar Jackson. It doesn't matter. So, I mean, I'm not in here trying to, I'm not gonna kill OBJ. That's not what I'm here to do. He got what he needed. He did what he wanted to do. What he needed to do. He missed the whole year of football. He missed the whole paycheck. He wanted to get some money. Somebody was willing to pay him $15 million for a guy who missed the whole season and has 2 ACL injuries. He got $15 million for 1 year. That's not bad. That's not bad work at all if you can find it. Because let's face it. That's not bad work at all. Let me know. Let me, because I get comments all the time on this YouTube thing. I apologize. My first couple episodes, I kind of neglected my people. I was talking to them, but I wasn't letting you know. But we got guys on here commenting. Antavius Dennis has commented. We got Rail Walker has commented. Dan, I think that's Wilson. I'm gonna say Wilson because I don't see an L in there. I could be pronouncing that wrong. He's commenting. We got some comments on here. Antavius Dennis says Kyrie is Irving is a cancer. I couldn't agree more. What an absolute cancer. There's always something. There's always something. I pay you $36 million to play basketball. Play basketball. And I love all the other stuff. I get it. If you want to retire from the game and go do that stuff, you go do that stuff. But when I'm paying you $36 million, when I'm paying you $40 million, when I'm paying you $45 million, basketball should be the number one priority. And it ain't always the number one priority for Kyrie. Matter of fact, I don't even think it's number 2 or 3, to be honest with you. The guy could care less about winning and losing. And I got no issue with that. But I'm not paying you. I'm not going to pay you that kind of money. Because when you're a professional athlete, that is supposed to be what you live and die by that. You live and die by the wins and the losses. You're getting paid this kind of money. They don't just pay anybody this kind of money. They don't do that. Antavius Dennis says OBJ would approve of yourself deal. It could be a prove yourself deal, but let's be honest with you. If Lamar's not there, who's he gonna prove it with? Is he gonna get his money with Tyler Huntley at quarterback? Is he gonna have a great season with Tyler Huntley? Hell, is he gonna have a great season with Lamar? He would have a better season with Lamar. But he's not going to Baltimore to go get. You're not going ape in this offense. You're not finna go at him and put up 100 receptions and 1,500 yards receiving. You're not gonna do that. He's not about to do that. So he just wanted his money. After missing that big time, after missing last season, that's a lot of money. You don't get paid for a whole year. So to get $15 million guaranteed, I mean, like I say, that's fine work. That's fine work. Yeah, I agree. Rail Walker says Ravens need to pay Lamar Jackson. I couldn't agree more. I mean, I don't know what we're waiting on. I have no idea what they're doing. You can say that you don't think he's worth that much. You can say what you want, but the market tells you otherwise. I done told you about these guys getting paid. And I don't want to go ahead and kill these guys, because people come on here and get really, really sensitive when you start bringing up their quarterbacks and you say things like, hey man, your guy got paid. Why can't Lamar get paid? Because you telling me Lamar's better than these guys I'm naming. Why are you taking it so personal? I don't understand. I don't get it. If Daniel Jones and Jimmy G and Kyler Murray and all these guys can get their money, Derek Carr, why can't Lamar get his money? I don't understand that. This man... Dan Wilkins said, does adding OBJ make the decision easier for Lamar to sign a contract with the Ravens? Does it make it easier? I think he wants what he wants. That helps that, we got some weapons that could help me be better. But at this point in his career, OBJ ain't a number one guy. He's probably a number two. And we don't know. We're having some after the injury. He might be a 3 at this point. I think he likes OBJ. I think it's probably cool, but at the end of the day, this is about his money. And then the same thing for OBJ. It's about his money. So, I don't think that affects Lamar at all. I only think the way it affects is once Lamar signs, it does. Then I can see both of them guys being extremely happy. I do, because I don't think that OBJ is going to be happy if Tyler Huntley is his quarterback. I just don't see OBJ being happy about Tyler Huntley being his quarterback. I could be wrong. I could be absolutely wrong. I could be totally wrong. Let's see. I wanted to touch on, before I got in, I want to touch on the draft order a little bit, just the top 10, and we'll get more into the draft. I kind of try to do it in segments. Let's do, 10, 10, 10, so we don't put so much in our plate. But, the draft order, April 27th, NFL draft, the Panthers had the first pick, the Texans had the second pick, the Arizona Cardinals had the third pick, the Colts have the fourth pick, the Seahawks have the fifth pick, Detroit had the sixth pick, the Raiders have the 7th pick. The Falcons have the 8th pick. The Bears have the 9th, and the Eagles have the 10th. You look at that. The Texans. The Panthers need a quarterback. The Texans need a quarterback. The Colts need a quarterback. And then you go to look. Geno Smith with the Seahawks. They just signed to a nice contract extension, so you don't expect them to look for a quarterback. But it could be a trade candidate right now. Detroit, they're probably happy with Jared Goff. You're probably happy with Jared Goff. Had a really good season. You got a lot of weapons coming back next year. You can kind of improve. You can help that offensive line out. You can continue to improve that defensive line, improve the secondary. You got so many other things that the Lions could do because that offense is there. It is there. St. Brown and all those guys. They got some guys. They got some dudes now. They got some dudes to go in that offense. The Raiders in there, obviously they got Jimmy G as a stopgap, so they would probably be looking for a quarterback right there. So the Falcons say they they tell us that they are happy with Desmond Ridder. That's what they tell me. Now, how much truth is to that? I think they're lying. But they don't necessarily mean they would draft a quarterback. They like Desmond Ridder. They got rid of Marcus Mariota, so it is Desmond Ridder time. We shall see how that goes. The Bears, they got Justin Fields, so they could have clearly stayed where they were at. If they thought they were going to take a quarterback, they trade all the way back to 9, get a boatload of draft picks from the Panthers. This should be able to help this roster at receiver, at the O-line position. The defense is terrible. So they got a lot of holes to fill in Chicago. So hopefully they take these draft picks and build this roster up and help Justin Fields out as much as possible. Eagles at 10. What a nice position to be sitting at, to be the defending NFC champions with a top 10 draft pick. Not bad business at all. You can get it. They did lose CGJ. They did lose 2 starting defensive tackles, even though they did draft Jordan Davis last year. So we shall see what the Eagles do right there at 10. But the biggest thing for the Eagles is also, I think, is signing Jalen Hurts. What kind of deal does Jalen Hurts get? Is it going to be dependent on Lamar Jackson's deal? You know, so you got a lot of things at work here when it comes to Jalen Hurts and his deal. You know, Joe Burrow will be next year. So a lot of things in play right now. With Lamar Jackson, I think a lot of dominoes going to fall once Lamar's situation is resolved. I think personally, if I was Lamar, I would sign the tender and then demand the trade. That way, the team that could actually be potentially interested in you don't necessarily have to give you 2 first-round picks. Everybody don't have 2 first-round picks. So you could eventually, you could do a first and a third. You could do first 2 twos, future first. You could do that. But see, if you don't have 2 first-round picks, you're limited in your market. A team like the 49ers, you only have a first-round pick. So you couldn't even be interested in Lamar because you don't have a first-round pick. So you would be stuck. So if I was Lamar, I would just sign the deal, sign the tag, and then demand a trade. Antavius Dennis says, if I'm the Panthers, I have to take CJ Stroud. I would agree. I talked about this maybe Tuesday. I like Bryce Young too, but if I'm picking at 1, I want the safest, surest thing in the draft. I think CJ. I know Ohio State quarterbacks have scared the hell out of me in the past. They have tremendously scared the heck out of me. But I like his size. I like him, like I said, playing with big time competition, putting up massive yard production. And then you saw the game against Georgia. You saw what he did against a really, really stout defense. He lit their ass up. He moved around in the pocket, showed you different platforms. They didn't have Jackson Smith and Big Jigba. They lost Marvin Harrison Jr. during the game, and he was still putting in work. So I like CJ Stroud. Now, I do think Bryce Young, something about Bryce Young, I think he's going to go to Texas, but I think he's going to be special. I think he can be special. I love his demeanor. I love his playmaking ability. I love his calmness. I love everything about the kid, just small. And that's what, if I just nitpick, I say, yes, I'll take CJ Stroud because he's a bigger guy. But I think the arm talent probably equal, so you're splitting halves, with me. But I think Carolina has zeroed in on CJ Stroud, and I have zero issue with that whatsoever. Dan Wilkins. Is it Wilson? If you're the Panthers and you're on the clock right now, who are you taking? We just, so just kind of answer his question. CJ Stroud, that's who I'm taking with number 1 overall pick. That's who I would take. I have no issue with anybody taking Bryce Young. I have zero issue with that. Zero. Yeah, absolutely. Antavius Dennis says that if Bryce Young was 6'3", 6'4", he'd be number 1 pick. I don't think it would be a question. He would be the slam dunk number 1 pick. If he was 6'3", 6'4", he'd be the slam dunk number 1 pick. I have absolutely 100%. I would agree. I agree with that. Now, before I get out of here, again, thank y'all for tuning in. Sentell, the best damn sports podcast, period. The undisputed champion of sports podcast. Let me omission. The other day I was talking about the best NBA players, American-born NBA players. And I left the guy out. They call him Triple J, JJJ. Jaren Jackson Jr. has been absolutely a sensational player, and he definitely deserves to be mentioned as one of the top best American-born players under 30. He is fabulous. He's fantastic. Defensive player of the year, and he's up for it again this year. He's a fantastic player. Made the All-Star team this past year. So yeah, give some love to JJJ. Really good ball player. Let me see if I got any more comments before I get out of here. We have reached that threshold. I trade. Ray Walker said he would trade and take the guy from Southern Cal next season. I'm thinking that's CJ Williams, but you want Carolina to trade? They already traded up, so they clearly can't. They clearly have traded up, so their intentions are known. They gonna take a quarterback, so no, they're not gonna do that. But he would be highly sought out the next year. The guy from USC, Caleb Williams. But am I saying that right? Is it Caleb Williams? What's the guy? Am I getting it right? I could be wrong. Dan Wicked and Edwards. Did I didn't mention Anthony Edwards the other day. If I did, that's another slip up. Yeah, definitely Anthony Edwards on that list too. So yeah, there's a couple of omissions right there. Anthony Edwards and Jaren Jackson Jr. should definitely be considered of those lists of top American-born players. So that's why I want to come back and get that out the way. But hey, it's been a fun show. Happy Easter, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it, man. Stay tuned to for the next episode. You gotta watch. You gotta look at Facebook and all these things. I let you know a day and time that I'll be back to do what I do better than anybody else in the world. Sentell, the best damn sports podcast, period. The undisputed champion of sports podcast. Your host, the sensational Sentell Whiteman. Want to thank all my people who commented and asked questions today on this show. We will see you next time. I am out of here. Peace.